Good morning, Wilfred Bartlett. You're on the air, sir.
Yes, Wilfred Bartlett. How are you doing, Paddy?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. It's nice that Danny was on just now, and I'd like to tell Danny he should take a trip out around rural Newfoundland and Labrador, especially up Northern Peninsula. He'll find out that things haven't been all rosy the last few years, right?
No, they haven't been all rosy, and I think that there's a conversation comment can extend to virtually every region of the province if you're looking. Yeah.
Well, what I'm going to get involved in politics, and what I'm going to talk about today is a bit about the PC leadership and also the Virginia Waters by-elections. Back a few years ago, Danny Williams broke his own party's constitution when he came out with the ABC campaign, because in the constitution you're supposed to campaign for your federal counterparts, the same as you do for one in Newfoundland and Labrador. But, that didn't work, right?
No.
And but Wayne Bennett, he got all over the coals for it. Now, for two elections, we haven't sent no one to Ottawa on the government side. For that, we've been punished. I mean, I've put out lots of stories, I'm sure you read them, but we've been punished because of the ABC campaign. We lost a very important Marine Rescue Centre. Now we're losing our Coast Guard stations, and now the shrimp. We're going to lose $20 million worth of shrimp to the inshore. We just signed a deal with the EU to get a better price for shrimp. But what's it good of a better price for shrimp if you got none to sell? And this is going to be devastating to our outport communities. Plants will go out of business, and some of the enterprise will go out of business. And Bill Barry was on open line yesterday, and he was right. A lot of our problems is because there's no one on the government side in Ottawa, no one to fight our problems. My mother always used to say, you get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, and she was right.
I guess so, and of course I think that proves itself true all the time. But Wilfred, just think about the amount of times that we've had members on the government side in cabinet, and things have still gone sideways, and we've been treated as we think as second-class citizens sometimes. So it's not always a guarantee. And we've had some powerful cabinet ministers as well, and we still have these very similar problems with Ottawa, don't we?
Not really. John Crosby, I'm going to tell you, we wouldn't have lost our Coast Guard station, and we wouldn't have lost our radio station, and we wouldn't have lost our shrimp like we are now if somebody like John Crosby was there, I'm sure.
Well, sure, but John Crosby was at the helm when he had to announce the moratorium and all the issues that led up to that moratorium, including our approach to offshore.
Yeah, I know that, right. But the problem was that they were sidetracked, I think, by the science at that time that was not providing the right information. Anyway, Danny Williams became a popular premier. He quit right in the middle of his mandate. No warning, no reason whatsoever. Then the PC party goes downhill ever since. When Bill Barry announced he was running for the leadership of the PC party, Danny made the statement, I don't want Bill Barry for premier. And then they come out with the ABB, anybody but Barry. And now Danny is trying to save the PC party. Another ABC, anybody but Cathy. It's time for Danny to realise the people of this province are tired of him telling him how to vote.
Yeah, but isn't that up to the people of the province whether they listen or not? I
know, but Danny left the PC party back there right in the midst for no reason whatsoever, never got involved in nothing, watched Cathy disseminate the party, and now he's involved in it up to his neck, trying to decide he's going to be the next premier, trying to get Danny Breen elected because Danny Breen got a clock for the stadium, right?
Well, I suppose he gave me that bit of fodder for that comment.
I know, yeah. I mean, more than this. I mean,
What's the problem with Williams being involved, though? Like, seriously, I mean, is it any different than the other parties bringing out the most influential people they have inside their party to help them campaign? I mean, it just so happens that Williams is one of the more popular figures in the province with a lot of political clout, whether he's elected or not. And so if the other parties had a Williams to break out, they'd have him out there too. So what's ultimately really wrong with it?
Well, the problem is now you've got the premier and an ex-premier up campaigning against all of the other two parties that are there, right? So, I mean, what they're bringing in the big shots. That's what the big guns, right?
Yeah, now, if you're running for the Liberals, would you try and get some popular Liberals out with you, whether that be Grimes or Tobin or anybody under the sun?
Yeah. But, I mean, Danny did his thing, he got out of it and left the PC party to disintegrate, and now he's trying to rebuild it up again with all this new blood is coming in, I mean, if Danny was wrong, I can understand it, but, I mean, But anyway, to the voters of Virginia Waters, if you vote for the PC candidate this election, you're not voting for the new revised party. You're voting for the same old crowd. This is the party that your leader quit and blamed all the problems on your former leader, Mr. Dunderdale, by promising to undo all the wrongs she did. Not because they want better government, but because they are trying to save the party and their jobs. My advice, they don't deserve your vote. Vote for the person going to help change his promise to a place our children will be proud of. Vote Cathy Bennett. End up by saying it's time to change the crew before the ship hits the rocks.
Well, there might be some of that sentiment. We hear the polls are probably in favor of Miss Bennett. They were maybe a week ago. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I think the best thing that can happen here is if people show out in strength like they did at the advanced polls, with 604 showing up compared to like 492 in the general election. People in Virginia Waters have a good, hard, exhaustive look at all three, their party and the person, and get out and vote.
Yeah, I advise everybody to get out and vote, because if you don't vote, you can't complain after. And I mean, the people of this district tomorrow got a chance to point this problems in the right direction, in my opinion. Right? There's too much stuff happening, especially in rural Newfoundland. If you're in St. John's, you don't notice it. Eh? We're in the rural communities now. What's happening in the rural communities? They're being populated now by the older people and people coming in from the mainland and buying up our houses. Spend a month during the summer. Not a good outlook. I mean, I got most of my people living in Newfoundland, and I got 10 of my immediate family that's working up the mainland because there's not jobs there for them. So where's all the jobs? You know?
Wilfred, you bring up points and questions that people are asking themselves in and outside of town. I always appreciate your time and enjoy the conversation, sir.
Give you a call next week sometime. Maybe we'll talk about the fishery, because this is a very important issue.
Anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Wilfred. Bye-bye. We are going to check in here now on the Twitter box. Here's a good one. You know full well. Doesn't matter what goes on in the show, I'm going to get the face smacked off me. Lucky I'm hard as nails. So, here we go. I think here's how it was written. I think you should have challenged him, meaning Williams, when he mentioned the Lane and Mitchellmore floor crossings. It has nothing to do with the by-election. Ooh. What? But the people who are opposed to the PCs have been telling me ad nauseum that the snow clearing in St. John's has something to do with Danny Breen and his hope to be a PCMHA. So come on, will you? I mean, they're wanting it both ways. You may indeed get it in your own quiet behind closed doors, but no friggin' way here. You can weigh Williams' comments for what you want. You can weigh Wilfred Bartlett's comments for what you like. You can make of whatever you feel from any comment offered from anyone who's a partisan biased person on the program. But if you're telling me that floor crossings have nothing to do with the future of the Liberal Party, then I think you've got the blinders on, and that's silly, because that'll be part of the conversation in 2015. And if that has nothing to do with the by-election, then I guarantee you the harbour fence and the snow clearing and temporary foreign workers have nothing to do with it either. But guess what? They do.